Hello everyone, how are you today? Today's video is going to be about how to actually handle social situations when you're going to any kind of event or anything social, any kind of social gathering that you're going to be going to. And I want to talk about this because I hear it a lot, okay? A lot of people ask me or tell me that these are situations that they struggle with. And I'm curious, do you feel like you overeat when you're in a social situation? Do you even try to just avoid them altogether? Because if you go, you're going to just end up overeating. As someone who used to binge eat, me, I know it can be really hard to not overeat when you're around all this different kinds of foods, especially when you're not usually or typically around them, or the foods that you typically would just have forbidden to yourself, right? So, I know some people will even turn to like eating or drinking in these social settings when they feel like a little awkward when they get there, or they're a little nervous, so it kind of helps them feel a little more comfortable. Or even if you usually restrict your food a lot, like on a daily basis, then it's all available at this party that you go to. A lot of dieters will just go completely nuts. They go overboard and they start binging on all these like forbidden foods, which only end up make them feel guilty and bad afterwards. So, to me that sounds a little backwards. You shouldn't be feeling bad because you ate some food. So if you come on, please say hello. I'd love to know you're here. And if you have any questions for me, put it right in the comments. And if you happen to catch the replay, #replay, so I know you're here as well. So this is why, it's so important to eat mindfully, okay? You will hear me talk about eating mindful and eating mindfully. And you want to be conscious of why, okay? Why you may be hanging around that food table a little too much when you go to this social event or social gathering. So I have some tips for you today so that you don't overeat at these social gatherings, and so that you can actually still really enjoy yourself and put the focus on you and having a good time rather than on the food. Okay, so number one is to have that mindful indulgence. So what I mean by that is actually give yourself permission, and I mean full permission here, to enjoy the food that you love without setting any restrictions or rules, okay? So when you go there, like, get yourself a plate. Think about which foods that you love to eat and how much you would really like to make actually make you feel good, and make a conscious and really mindful decision to really enjoy it without guilt, okay? Because when we give ourselves permission to consciously indulge into the food, we're going to avoid overeating, not only in the social situations, but also, just in our daily life in general, on a daily basis, okay? So number two would be to practice that mindful eating so that you avoid the overeating, all right? So mindful eating and being in that present moment and making those conscious decisions about how much to eat, when to eat, what to eat, all those things. So when you make your choice, like, ask yourself, okay, what would actually satisfy me? Not the healthiest food or the food with the least calories, but the food that you feel that would be the most satisfying and most delicious, all right? So ask yourself, if you, at that point, after you eat it, have I had enough? Or do I feel like I still need a little more to be satisfied? Okay? The goal here is that you want to actually feel better after a meal, not worse, okay? Hey Nan, how are you? So focus on your meal as much as you can and eat slowly, okay? Because sometimes we get distracted, when we have so many people around us, and then we just tend to eat mindlessly, all right? So bring that focus back into your plate. Bring it into the food that's in front of you, and slow down and enjoy it and eat mindfully. Number three is constant body feedback. You want to be tuning into your body and ask yourself questions like, okay, am I hungry? Do I need more? If the answer is yes, then, what would really satisfy me? Your body is always sending you a signal. It's a matter if you're going to listen to it or not. So listen to your hunger cues, all right? And a great example of this would be to just check in with yourself on a regular basis and try to stay between that 7 and the 8 on the hunger and on your fullness scale, I should say, where you're respecting your fullness. You get to a 7. Remember, 10 is like way too stuffed. You need to unbutton your pants. You've overdone it. You're feeling a little sick. You're feeling gross. You're regretting your decision at that point. You want to come back down and stay around that 7 or 8 where you're full, yeah, but you're satisfied and you're satiated and you're feeling good, all right? So remember to get to that number, then you know that you're good to go, all right? And you're still feeling comfortable and you can focus on having fun rather than actually focusing on the food that's at this social event, all right? And number 4 is to avoid snacking during the actual occasion. Hey, Jackie, how are you? So try to eat like one main meal, have a glass of wine or whatever it is you prefer to have for a drink, and have a dessert, and try to keep, even a glass of water nearby so that you can continue to sip on that, so you stay hydrated. And, naturally in social situations, we always want to have something in our hands, right? And this way, if you at least have a glass of water always there and nearby, then you're not going to feel that need to keep eating or drinking more, okay? So, don't spend most of the night and most of the time at the social gathering just around the food or the snack table. Go around, move around and mingle and speak to people and make connections, all right? Take advantage of being able to move around. And number 5 is don't plan your next diet, okay? Just because you overindulged a little doesn't mean you got to start planning a whole nother diet. So planning to restrict food or diet after you've had that celebration can also be a big reason that you may overeat at the occasion itself, all right? So your mind tells you to eat as much as you can and as much junk food as you can because you won't be able to have it after, while you're at this special occasion. And believe me, I know, I've been there, I've done it like just countless, too many times. And that was totally my mentality, my thinking. And that's how I lived for so long. And there's no need for you to go on a diet after you've just had a little celebration about something or over something. Your body is smart enough to actually regulate your calories and your meals for you. You won't put on weight even if you ate more than usual at this one special occasion. You might get on the scale the next day, which is not a good time to get on the scale, by the way. But it's going to show you water weight. Everybody freaks out. It's like, oh my gosh, I gained 3 pounds in one day. You did not gain 3 pounds in one day. All right, it's water weight. You had foods that were probably higher in sodium, higher in fat, things like that, making you retain the water, especially if you were not drinking enough water as well. So now your body's holding on to that water. Not a big deal. It's going to come off in a few days, all right? So remember intuitive eating principle number 1. Make peace with food, your body, and yourself because you deserve to, okay? And then number 6, it's about relationships, all right? Enjoy the company. Enjoy the company that you're with when you go to these social situations rather than dreading like, oh, what am I going to eat? Oh, am I going to overeat? What's going to happen? I'm going to be mad at myself. I'm already dreading it before I even get there, because the main purpose is really to enjoy the people that you're with, right? At least I think so. And it's not about the food. It should be about the people that you're with. Food is part of the celebration, yes, and this is, of course, what makes it fun too. But I personally believe that a celebration or a social situation or occasion is also about connecting with the people that are actually there and that you're meeting with, and even possibly meeting new people and making new connections. So think of it that way. And number 7, last but not least, continue with your regular meals afterwards, okay? This goes with starting a new diet right after. So just continue with your regular meals, continue on how you would normally live your life and live out your days on a daily basis. Continue eating regular meals after that occasion that you went to, whatever social outing you had, and wait until you're hungry again to enjoy your next meal. The party doesn't need to continue over the next few days or the next few weeks, just to make good, healthy food choices the next time you have a meal, and eat as much as you need to feel satisfied again. Okay, so I hope that makes sense for you, and I hope all of these points that I touched on make sense. And if you have any questions about any of them, let me know. Pop it in the comments. You can even PM me too if you'd like to chat further. And also, I'm doing complimentary consultations this week. I have 3 spots available if anyone would like to jump into one of those, and we can talk about anything that maybe you're feeling a little stuck or frustrated with what's going on with your own health and weight goals right now. And if we jump on the phone, we can see about taking you from where you are now to where you'd like to go. So if there's no questions now, I'm going to hop off, but I hope you all have a very beautiful day, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.